For almost a decade on my TV show Interview with Ed, I've been interviewing extra-dimensional beings and consciousnesses from a number of different realms. Many of my questions have been answered, but with every answer comes more questions. Join me on my ongoing quest to find out, who are we? Why are we here? And where are we going? It is a crazy time we're in with all the solar flares, which I wanted to get into a little bit with you, AKURA. But first, let's welcome AKURA. Welcome. Good to have you.
Thank you.
Good to have you here.
To be online. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm so excited and honored.
And I'm excited too. I'm excited to hear your story. I sort of heard you sent me the clip of the interview you did before, but love to get into your fascinating story. You have such a fascinating story when it comes to your journey. And then later, I think many of you know of your amazing light language and your beautiful voice. And we're hoping you can share some of that with us today too. So,
Yeah.
But first, tell us about your crazy journey. You got stuck in another dimension. How did that happen?
Oh gosh, yeah, this happened in year 2021. So it was very crazy. So it's hard for me to explain this because it was a process, so to speak. So the energy slowly changed. It has already begun in March 2021. Something very weird was about to happen. And then I received very strange comments on my previous platforms because I had another YouTube channel before, an Instagram channel, a Telegram channel. So, and then I noticed this very strange comments. So more and more. It started with a few, and then they became stronger and very numerous. So I couldn't say anymore who is a bot and who is a true person. So, and I just spent so much time in blocking,
Right.
blocking comments, and it was too much. Yeah. So, and then in April 2021, I was sure, this is really something different this time. There was much darkness behind all this. And then I received a message from my team in April 2021, the gate to the fourth dimension has opened. So, and I had no idea what kind of message is this, please. And then I asked my twin flame Marcel. I received a message, the gate to the fourth dimension has opened. Marcel said, yeah, maybe, I don't know. So we had no idea. Yeah.
Had you been aware of sort of that terminology of by that time, the fourth dimension, fourth density, the ascension, you'd been already sort of tapped into that,
of course,
to that language, right?
Yeah, of course. I did light
Okay.
language transmissions before, had my spiritual awakening many years before. So I knew. So, but it was a strange feeling because I had no idea what they are talking about. Okay, the gate has opened. Okay, let's make a note. So to speak, yeah. Then at the end of April, the beginning of May, it has begun. That they hacked into our server, our phones, they had a reset, so I couldn't go online anymore. Over and over error, boom. So like, wow. So the same happened on my computer. So, and I received very strange comments on Telegram, private messages. Are we scaring you? I have to
Wow.
do this. Boom. And meanwhile, I had a shutdown of my phone. And meanwhile, I received a comment. So are we scaring you? And then I knew, no, this is definitely utterly, I don't know what it is, but that's the on dark. So, and then I even tried to call my friends, but they always hijacked into the connection. Oh, I cannot call my friends anymore.
Did you hear any voices?
Yeah. It was first,
Yeah.
when you call someone and then
Right.
boom. And
Did
then
you
it
hear
was
any
over.
deep, like a Darth Vader voice or anything like that?
Sometimes too, something's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
or that someone else picked up the phone. So, oh my gosh, now I'm talking to a different
Right.
Yes.
Wow. So I just want to share because it was around 2021. So another guest who we've had on the show here, Phoenix Rising, she's a coach and does light language, and we were talking with her one day, my buddy Steve and I, and she chimed in and she said, it's in the computers, it's like the AI or something's gone.
Yeah.
Somehow they've gotten in the computers. And then
Yes, I had the same. I saw exactly the same. I told myself
yeah,
they are inside the computer now, Marcel. What
right,
should we
right.
do?
And as we were talking, we heard this like strange, weird feedback, and it's like all of me and Steve were just like we threw the phone down because it made some weird sound, and we were like, "What the hell is that?" And then it like cut off the connection, got cut off.
Yeah,
And then when we called Phoenix back, and we're like, "What is going on here? This is absolutely nuts!" Just the weird sounds that the phone had made.
yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
interesting. So
Or
that
when I turned the computer on, for
right.
example, then I heard a very strange AI voice speaking, for
Wow.
example. So, okay, for example, it was very weird. Yeah. So it became stronger and stronger.
So when did you know or realize you were in this other dimension, this other reality?
The beginning
That's a
of
loaded
May.
question, but beginning of
Yeah,
May.
at the
Okay.
beginning of May, yeah, they destroyed our whole technology. Very strange was I was able to talk to my family. So they allowed it still to talk to my family. That was very strange.
So
So
when you say explain the differences. So like talking to your family, and how could you not talk to other people? Is that just because of the
yeah, they
try to
hijacked
call them?
the connection. Or I was in contact with my friends on social media, for example, and then they
Right.
sent me messages, and I was sure that's not them. This is not my
Oh,
my
okay.
friends would never tell me this horrible thing.
I
So they
see.
said things like, "So you will be entering the fourth dimension soon. Oh, call the police, but they will not help you." And these were messages from my
Huh?
friend. And then I
Okay.
knew, no, these are not my friends.
Right, right, right.
So, but my family, as I contacted them, they respond normal, like I know them.
Right. Nothing strange, nothing not.
Nothing strange.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So
Then I
that's how
had
you're
to
able to
feel,
tell.
yeah, of course. And then I felt something is off, and it felt like someone is watching us. Someone's watching us from the neighbor's house or on the streets. It felt like someone really is watching us. The crazy thing is, a soul sister of us lived with us in the same apartment, in the same house. She had her own flat. We had our own flat. And she came down to us and she said, "Do you hear the helicopter surrounding our house? Every night there is a helicopter surrounding our house." For example, so and it became stronger and stronger. What our friend said, she ran alone. She was so in panic, and she didn't took us with her. So she just ran. She
She
said
just ran.
goodbye. Yeah, she just ran. She was very in panic. And then a few weeks later, as she ran, they captured us. Yeah. Then we were completely alone.
Okay, so explain that. So when she ran, she just took off. You never saw
Yeah,
her again.
yeah. She canceled the contract. She just ran.
She ran
Goodbye.
out of
Oh no. Yeah, yeah. She
she
just
moved,
ran.
really moved out of the apartment.
She moved. Yeah, and she left Germany. She ran because she
Wow.
felt the darkness. Yeah, it was very dark.
And then you said you got captured. So explain that. What happened there?
Yeah, the black helicopter, for example, surrounded us for real. So then I noticed, and I paid attention to this every night. There's really a helicopter surrounding us. She's right. And she was on the top, right? We were in the second floor and she was in the fourth floor, so to speak. That's why she heard it very closely. So yeah, and it became stronger and stronger. And then I had that feeling someone is watching us. And as this black helicopter over and over surrounded our house, then we noticed a black car in front of our door. And this happened as this woman ran. Then we were completely alone, so to speak. Our phones didn't work anymore. The computer didn't work anymore. So yeah, we lived in a city alone. So because we settled down there new. So
And can I ask what city was this in Germany?
Leipzig.
And
Saxony.
is it? I'm not too. My geography is a little. Is it north or south?
Yeah, close to Berlin. East.
Okay. Oh, okay. East. I see.
Yeah.
And so then black cars, black helicopters.
Yeah, there was a car standing in front of the door. It was a black car, and there were men inside with glasses on and a black blazer. So, and they started to watch us closely. So it was
like the movie Men in Black, right?
Yeah, or like Agent Smith from Matrix.
Agent Smith.
They had really almost the same energy. Yes.
Wow.
They started to stalk us, and it became stronger and stronger. So, and I cannot say so because they surrounded our house, and we run too, sooner or later, so Marcel and me. And as we run, right, I just took my bag with me. Marcel too, we had no idea where to go. I said, come on, let's go to my family, because we were able to talk to my family.
Right.
Maybe there.
And where are they at? Where are they nearby in your?
So
Okay. I don't know.
yeah,
How far is that from where
far
you were?
away.
Oh, is okay.
Yeah. So,
Interesting.
and then we took a train, and then the people follow us. And they had a very crazy technology. It looked like a notebook or a laptop. And they over and over used codes. And they took a seat next to us, or they follow us. And it was very strange. Maybe we already were in the fourth dimension without realizing this, because we were surrounded by very crazy people. And they all had a computer or a phone, and they just codes. And they looked very robotic. Like, oh, these humans. And then I remember we took a train, and there was a man with us sitting next to us. He had a computer, and the whole screen was blue. Just blue. Just codes. And then I saw Biden in the screen. So, oh my fucking gosh. Blue.
So what did Biden look like? What kind of picture was it?
It was blue, and it looked like it's Microsoft almost, but it was not Microsoft. It was even not Apple. So it was a software, I don't know, a completely different technology. So, and then he logged in. It's very strange. And he opened up a screen, just codes, tick, 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 tick. And all what he did was tick, 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 using codes. And then he looked to us, tick, 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 codes, tick, 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 this way. It was so strange. And then I thought,
seen out of a movie.
Frequencies here everywhere. And then suddenly I looked out, because we took a seat in a train, and slowly the mountain started to shake. Oh my goodness. So there were rocks, and the rocks moved this way, like waves. Yeah. So, oh my fucking gosh. Or so, what is this? What is this? And this guy, just using codes.
And Marcel was seeing this too? Has he seen the mountains?
Yeah.
Wavy?
So exactly the same what I saw. Yeah.
Well, that's good. I mean, in a sense, that's good that you're not alone in that way.
Yeah.
That you have Marcel there.
Yeah, of course. And after that experience, I was guided to a few other starseeds, and I saw them with my third eye. So then I said, oh gosh, these starseeds, they suffer like crazy too. I saw them just with my third eye. And then after this experience, I contacted them, and they told me, yes, I was in the fourth dimension myself. So, oh my gosh, during the same time. So yes, it was horrible.
So you started to realize while you're on the run that you're in a different reality.
Yes, as this rock started to shake like in waves. And then just NPCs, androids, whatever, they just entered the train suddenly.
The Mr. Smiths.
Gosh. Mr. Smiths, young people, they all had a cell phone, 100%. And they all used codes. So, and they couldn't talk for real. So
they weren't communicating verbally?
Yeah, this way. They didn't talk, or through telepathy, or they used their phones and talked to each other.
Wow.
And they all surrounded us.
And they surrounded you, they knew that you were sort of different in a way, or did you stand out at all?
It was very strange. It was very strange, to be honest. It looked like a few of them, they were curious. Who are we? So there were a few, they used their phones this way, and they hold it to us. So yes, because they tried, I don't know what they tried to figure out. And they were wondering, who are we? So what are we doing here? Because it was another dimension.
Right. And did you have conversations with anybody?
Through telepathy more.
Oh,
so then I heard them talking. I was thinking about a few of them, they were able to talk. And when they talked about our thoughts. So it's like I heard them talking, and I was thinking about this, and they started to talk about it. It was so,
Right,
crazy.
Right. Interesting.
And most of the time they spoke about food because they were hungry.
Okay. So walk us through, it's fascinating because I've experienced that kind of stuff, but only on mushrooms. So, So I have some reference, the waving of the, of the, like the mountains, the far background becomes sort of blurry. close
Yeah.
up looks fine, but the things in the background, everything is sort of pulsing.
Yes, of course.
So
Has become through this very strong. Yeah.
and then there's the one and only time I took a heroic dose. Are you familiar with the 5 gram heroic Terrence McKenna's heroic dose? That was trippy. That's when I went into another dimension and I could see the different timelines. So I'm just wondering, it sounds like you got, without the mushrooms, you got sort of stuck, but you said it felt like you were there for a long time. How long did this go on? The days, I would imagine, if your friends moving out.
Yeah,
Wow.
almost 1 month we stayed there. Yeah, we were just traveling for Germany and we tried to get out of there. Yeah.
And how would you go about even trying to get out? So you made these connections with these other star seeds. How, just sort of walk us through. So you're on the train, I guess. Let's go back to the train and take us from there. How did you navigate that reality?
They controlled everything there. So when we had the idea, I want to visit my family, they didn't allow it because we took a train. Then no train arrived. Or we also did some time shift there. So boom, and the train suddenly was somewhere else. What the fuck? Now we are in a completely different train station. Actually, we wanted to escape and to get out of there. And then we were somewhere else. So they didn't allow us to arrive there. So we were just surrounded by these NPCs and they used very horrible frequencies.
So in a sense, how we understand physics and continuity was just all bonkers. Was it not like the continuity of time and space and situations? And seemed like that was just kind of going nuts? There was no continuity.
They tried to make us crazy, driving us crazy. That was the plan, yeah.
Did they try to make you crazy?
Very weird. Yeah.
Or just because you're in a different reality, does it seem like you're going crazy?
Maybe it's both.
Right.
It was very crazy because we were able to go into the supermarket, but we were surrounded by completely different people. So because we also took the train back to Leipzig again, to Saxony, because they didn't allow us to arrive at my family's house. So that's what we tried over and over again. And then, we go back to Leipzig to our home and completely different people were in the supermarket working. But we were able to buy some food. What?
Right.
But we felt it's not a good idea to buy food there. It felt so artificial, everything. So it was very strange. They printed food there, for example.
They printed food?
Yeah, they used AI push bam and they programmed the food in and it was there.
Okay. Yeah, so by that time you must have been figuring out you were in somehow you'd slipped into another reality.
Yes, completely. The trains were different. The longer we stayed there, the more different timelines we saw. There were also many trains, no driver in the car, just based on the AI, everything. So that was a little bit creepy, to be honest, even to see the technology they used. Yeah, massive G towers, right? But mixed with Nikola Tesla, like what? Nikola Tesla mixed with G, massive towers. And the sun looked different also.
How did the sun feel or look? What can you describe?
Very hot and dry, very hot. And there was no trail on the sky in 40. Always a clean blue sky.
Oh, no chemtrails. Huh.
But
that's not a bad thing.
Very, very hot.
Oh, interesting. And so Beth's saying here, was this fourth dimension just a very different and scary timeline? It's my understanding that most of us are in the 40 now.
Yeah, it was almost the same way. I believe it was the low astral plane we saw.
Right.
We also saw dead people.
Dead people?
Yeah. So, because we traveled through Germany and we searched for our friends, we searched for my family. So, and then we knocked on the door because we were hungry. We had no home to stay. So we traveled through Germany. I remember we also stayed in the city Heidelberg. So that's the other area of Germany. And it was a little bit quieter there because in Heidelberg, there is a ley line, a powerful ley line. So, and we felt it in our hearts. We must travel to Heidelberg because we have more protection there. These are powerful portals when you are close to a ley line.
Yeah.
And it was a little bit quieter there, but we searched up for a place to stay. And that's why we knocked on the doors. So, and the lights were on, but you saw these people shape-shifting. So there was no one. And then we looked through the window, a person shape-shifted. And they opened the door and there was no soul in their eye. Like, work on your door. That was their energy. Like, well,
Oh, I see. Dead people in that sense. They were animated. So,
yeah, they
but
were
like
stuck
zombies.
yeah. Yeah, they stuck in the fourth dimension. Yeah, they had souls and they still lived in the house and they believe they're still alive. Yeah.
Interesting. Wow. So, by this time, because I had, in my 5 gram experience, I had a short time, just one night where I was in this other dimension. You're going through this through months. And how I would imagine, because just in my one night of insanity, you're sort of trying to figure it out. You're like, what's going on? How did I get here? So how does that take its toll on your psyche?
It's hard to explain that. On one hand, we were curious, to be honest, because it was a very strange reality.
I'm
So
wondering,
everything,
did you record any of your conversations with Marcel? Because that would have been fun. Just like you two talking about what your experiences are in real time.
actually, we had much material, yeah. So I was
Oh,
also in conversation with people before, but as the computer, had a shutdown 100%, all my information, conversations I had, they were gone. I
oh,
also
wow.
was in contact with people before. They were fully aware of what's happening soon. So, and I had no idea who they are. And I believe these are my friends. And they said the same, yeah, Sandra, you will be in a hot dimension very soon. For example, they told me these very strange things before. So, and actually, I would have all these conversations, but the computer had a shutdown and my phone's too. So, yeah,
Wow.
all
So,
that remains is a conversation I had with a soul sister. And she was
okay.
there too. And that video is still online on my YouTube channel. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So there's a video that you recorded in that other dimension that still showed up in this dimension.
After that, there
Oh,
was
right
a
after.
conversation with a soul sister I saw with
Okay.
my third eye that she's suffering. Yeah, she had the same experience. Yeah.
Okay. So she talked about the exact same type of people and stuff. Oh, but is this your soul sister in America?
Yeah.
Okay.
She
So,
was in
but
America. Yeah.
so she was in America experiencing very similar type situation.
Yeah. She was also surrounded just by NPCs. The same.
Fascinating. So explain how you get us out of that. Like, how did you come back into this reality, start realizing that you were in this other sort of dimension?
I called my team over and over again, but it was not easy for them to help us, what I saw, because they created very strong grids, what I saw. They use grids too, the darker
Okay.
ones, so to
Yeah.
speak. But, it's different to the grids we used. That's why it was not easy for them to help. I called them all. So please help us, because what they did was very crazy, to be honest. So with these frequencies and everything, and I just cried, to be honest, as it was almost unbearable to stay there. And then I remember Marcel and me, we both used our hearts, I remember. So we all called for help, Marcel and me. So, and I remember then we simply tried it again. We must arrive at my family's house. Let's try it again, even when they don't allow us to go there. But we do it anyway. So, and then we were guided suddenly. I cannot say maybe our team helped us, or it was because Marcel and me are twin flames and we did something. I cannot say for sure. But as we entered the border of Bavaria, suddenly everything mixed and suddenly we were surrounded by real people again. Because every person there, every NPC had a phone. And most of them were young, in the age of 20, 21. They were all just young people. But as we entered the border, Bavaria, suddenly older people entered the train and they read some newspaper, for example, or they read a book, and not everyone had a phone. And then we were sure slowly we'd come back. What is this? Yeah. And then finally we arrived at my family's house and we were beyond thin, to be honest. We had not for food. So then they just saw, oh shit, they are in trouble. and they were already questioning it because I was gone. So they couldn't call me anymore. So my computer pushed, my phone pushed. So, and they were worried as well.
Right.
Yeah.
And that sort of anchor to the family and going back into sort of a normal reality, in a sense, people reading books, that slowly the other reality started to fade away. Is that what happened?
Yeah, it happened.
Was it quick, or was it?
I tried to remember. Quick, I think. It was when we arrived Bavaria. Something happened.
Maybe the frequency, or like you were saying, ley lines are different, some of those towers that are creating a certain grid or something, then you could.
Yeah, it was very interesting. In Heidelberg, there's a ley line, straw one. And this NPC there, I mean, we were just surrounded by NPCs. They were kind in Heidelberg. They didn't attack us. They saw us, but they led us. And that was interesting. So we were still in another dimension, but they led us. They didn't attack us with their phones, but the others, yes, just frequencies over and over again, but they didn't in Heidelberg, and that was interesting.
So you said your connection to your family, your connection to Marcel. What other type of techniques, or how did your heart help guide you out of that situation?
Yeah, we called our team over and over again, and we trusted our hearts, and we simply tried it. We were very creative. We took many different trains that way different, finally to arrive in Bavaria. It was actually very complicated, what we did, but I don't know, but it helped.
Who's your team?
AKURians in first case.
Okay.
And I also work a lot with Yeshua. So Yeshua, Mary Magdalene, for example, but in first case, the AKURian. So I called them, but I also called the Pleiadians. I called them also.
Right. Yeah. In that type of situation, you gotta.
I called them all. Yeshua, Pleiadians, or Providence. Please help us, Syrians. You must do something.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's a valuable lesson to call upon. First, I think the family and that sort of heart connection. Because I remember in my situation too, that was helping me to navigate that situation, and anything that you have that, long-term heart connection with. So, a friend, a spouse, a family members. Yeah, remember that can keep us going. But I can't believe it happened for so long. That was wild.
I had a trip to Fodi.
For me, it was, I saw different versions of reality sort of happen in my mind's eye. But I remember just walking on the ground, and it was a different ground, and it was a different, the rocks were in different places. So it was familiar, but different in that sense that you're just like, what is this reality? And then you think, for me, that's it. You're stuck in this, like you're in this dream that you can't wake up from. And there's a sense of accepting it, and then knowing that there's another version of you. So for me, I was like, there's another Ruben that comes from this other reality, version of me is over there doing that thing. But I guess this version of me is stuck here now in this other dimension. So, okay, we're just going to make the best of it, so.
Yeah.
So I can imagine, the steps that you went through. But again, mine was just one night, but it seemed like an eternity. And I'm just curious. So the guidance that you were getting, so let's back up. Before this happened, were you doing the work that you do now? Were you doing light language?
Yeah.
How did you step into becoming in tune and connected to our cosmic family? And like, for example, your Arcturian background, how did you come to that realization that you were connected to the Arcturians?
So I must say I'm clairvoyant since childhood. So I always had connections to my family. So I saw orbs, beings, entities. I saw them in my dreams, standing in my room. Also the dark ones, I saw them also. So many different entities. So I was always clairvoyant. But I was raised very Catholic. So, and that was not easy for me to believe in my gift because it's called occultism, right? And satanic. So, and I believe that also. So that I'm evil, I'm possessed. So, and then I needed so much time to overcome this trauma, to be honest. So, and then when I turned into 18, for example, I had a very dark experience there too. And then I told to myself, Sandra, you don't want to be this way anymore. You must change your life. So you deserve different. And then I started to work on myself. And when I turned to 2020, so I had something like a spiritual awakening, like push a shift. So, and I was guided to many books. First, it started with books about empaths and hypersensitive people, right? Because I was always curious. I wanted to know my home. Where is my home? Where is my home? And I always have that. When I was a child, I was very deep in it. So I always looked up to the stars. I studied astronomy books and I always searched for my home, but I had no idea where it is. And then I had these visions of other dimensions from other galactics, for example. But I believed I'm possessed by the devil. I was afraid to speak about it. And then I tried to delete this psychic muscle, so to speak. Like, it's not there. I can't see anything because I believe I'm crazy. So, and when I turned to 21, 22, then I saw, hey, I'm not crazy. Because a good friend shared a video with me. It was a video about Syrian starseed. It was the first video I saw. It was in English. And he just told me, watch that video. So I think it can help you. So, and I just saw the video, the music, and I cried. It was like, this is exactly what I felt always. So I'm not from this place. So I'm from my other dimension, from my other galaxy. And the message was so deep. I just cried. And then I had something like a big awakening. And then I was curious. I wanted to know everything. Who are the Syrians? Oh, right. Who are the Pleiadians? Yeah. And then I just trusted my heart. So which group is very close to me? Yeah. And then I was guided to a few races. So then, I trained my psychic muscle again. So, and I said, hey, Sandra, you are not crazy because you are clairvoyant since childhood. But I tried to do this, right? Because I believe I'm evil. Yes.
So to unprogram that sort of fear-based projection of these types of gifts.
Yes, of course. I had to reprogram myself in almost everything in my life. Yeah.
And in that journey, what you said started around
when I was 18. It was the dark experience I had, and then I started to cut my hair off, and I started with vegan food, and I was guided more and more back to my intuition. So what is my intuition telling me? So I suffered my entire life, so I deserve different. Yeah, and then I started to reprogram myself. And the more I reprogrammed myself, the more I was guided to spirituality automatically.
You had your YouTube channel and were you doing light language and these types of things before this thing? Okay. So I didn't really start. I think you came onto my radar like about a year ago, maybe. You put out some videos on Instagram and your piercing eyes and your beautiful voice,
Thank you.
And it's captivating, it pulls you in. So we're like, whoa, who's this? And then you're doing light language and you're just like, so it's very, I think for many at that time, you became quite popular over a short amount of time, but it was also, there was a resonance there that so many of us, even people who hadn't been, in this field, I've been doing this stuff for a while, but people who were just kind of coming onto it, and you're talking about, star families and star lineages and star seeds. So I think had a big effect on the collective in a sense, because I'm sure some of your videos got millions of views, right?
On TikTok. Yeah.
On TikTok. Yeah. So you're having this effect and you're not sharing your full story as we are today. So there's just a resonance that people are finding. So I'm just curious that sort of journey of going into that world. And then you came back from that world and you started talking about it. How was your reaction? How do you put that into words and how do you get people to understand what happened? I know we're doing that here now, but what was some of the earlier experiences that you had from that sharing?
Yeah. At one hand, because I had a YouTube channel before, it was called The Magnificent Future. Then I opened that YouTube channel as Marcel met each other. So in 2017, circa, I started with this one. Okay. So, and there were already many people watching me. So, and they were very worried because they were members of my Telegram channel and they saw what happened there. So, suddenly I was gone.
Oh, okay. So in this reality, you disappeared.
yeah, because it was not easy for me to talk about this. Like, oh my gosh, how should I explain this to the people without people believe I'm going crazy? So maybe you just took some mushrooms or LSD.
Right. That would have been my first guess,
Yeah, but I simply did it. So I opened up the channel. I was a little bit afraid because I also saw who's watching us, the people in the black car and didn't know this. So, and it was very crazy as I published that video. Immediately, these people entered my live stream. Immediately. Oh, she's a scam. Don't believe her. It's
Right,
the same guys again. So, whoa.
Wow.
Like, I already know that I opened up a YouTube channel again. Okay. But there were many people that were very worried about me. So, and they were guided to me. And even people, as I opened up the app again, Telegram, and I had a phone again, So I was also in contact with people private. These were ET contactees, channelers. And they were very worried because they received a message. Oh shit, they are in danger. Marcel and Sandra, they are in horrible danger. And they prayed for me and they prayed and they tried to help me, So that was the reaction. In first case, it was mixed. The one side, they were very worried because they felt it was very dark. That is not, Sandra would never do this. To say goodbye, nothing push bam, she's gone. So this is not her style. So the other side were the beings from below astral plane again. Oh, Jesus, man, don't believe her. She's lying.
Right.
Yeah. And then I did it anyway. And then a YouTube channel was guided to me again. He also watched my previous YouTube channel. And his name is Naughty Beaver, but he's not on YouTube any longer. So I heard they deleted his videos too. I don't know if it's true. But Naughty Beaver, he had a big YouTube channel. He was guided to me again because he already watched my channel and he explained in all detail what happened there. And the video is still online on my YouTube channel because they removed that video from his channel too. But lucky I saved it on my computer. That's why I re-uploaded it. Yeah. And as I watched that video, I was like, oh my gosh, she explains everything in detail. So I felt that this is something else, but I couldn't find words for all this. She explained this. And then many people were guided to me again because they subscribed to Naughty Beaver's channel too. Yeah.
Okay. And is that on your YouTube channel?
Yeah, on my YouTube channel.
Okay.
I re-uploaded it.
I'll have to find that and post it here. Sorry. Well, so the evolution sort of continues. So were you familiar with the Men in Black, or had you known other than the movie? Did you know any details about those beings or those entities? Because they're sort of non-human. Many people say they look human, but not really.
Yeah. Non-human entities, AI, androids, so to speak. These are shapeshifters, the dog ones, right? They put on a physical body, for example. So it was a little bit similar to me, like the movie They Live, when you know the movie.
Yeah, with the glasses.
The same feeling for me. Yeah. The same feeling. Yeah.
Wow. So, after that, spending time in there, now coming out. So now we have terms for this. Did you know about the splitting of the earths and the sort of different different timelines? And did you have that sort of vernacular before going into that experience?
I was aware of this before, and I already published content about this. Yeah.
Okay. So you had some navigation points. You were kind of figuring it out, that you were like, okay, did we jump timelines? Are we in another reality?
Yeah, I just saw, okay, slowly we got a stairway higher, the gate to the fourth dimension open. So at first I didn't understood the message, okay. But after we escaped, so to speak, I understood the
right. And yeah, so what's the takeaway? What's the big message from that experience?
Always trust your heart. Because our heart saved us, so to speak. We saw that these beings, they don't understand your heart. They don't understand your soul. They're very good in translating your brain, your mind, programs, frequency, but they don't understand your soul. And they don't understand your intuition. This means when you trust your intuition, you are divine protected and you can navigate through the storm.
Yeah, that sort of seems to be a theme, clearly through this great change, this transformation that humanity is going through. The key theme that keeps coming up through, all of my, interviews and talks with the galactics, they're saying, trust your heart, trust your heart, trust your heart, right? That's this, in a sense, of the new operating system. I know it's sort of the old operating system, but to go into that energy, lean in that direction, and that'll sort of be the guidance to keep us in the best timeline possible, right? In a sense, for our evolution and for those of us who are tuning in here, to be the best version of us that we want, that we desire.
Of course, yeah.
And more, that message continues to get stronger. And these types of conversations and, you sharing your experiences, again, it's just coming through very strong. When for you did you start the singing in the light language?
I think it has started as myself and we met each other.
Okay.
2017. I was slowly guided to sing and speak in that language. It was a message from my team again.
Yeah.
I would receive messages basically through my intuition. So then I simply do what they tell me. So they also told me start with English content for a few years. And I was, what? Really? Me speaking English? Are you kidding, guys? Are you kidding? They said, simply try it. And then I published the first one. It was a light language video, right? The intro was English, German, Then I sung and speaking Syrian light language, yes.
Okay.
Did it. And then it was so much fun to do it. And then I did more of them. So and more people, English-speaking people, were guided to me. So then I understood, see, my team is right. I had no idea why. Some questions here in the chat already.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But go ahead. Let's see. What do we? Oh, Jessica's asking, where was the version of you here? What were you doing here? Yeah. In that sense. Yeah. Maybe there was only one version. I don't know.
Yeah. One version. So I'm not located in 4D for real. So I didn't see myself walking around in the fourth dimension. No. But I saw Queen, for example, walking.
You saw what?
Queen Elizabeth was there.
She was in the other dimension?
Yeah.
Wait, when did she die? She died in this reality. She died a few months ago, was it? It wasn't that long ago, right? Not fully a year ago, was it? I don't know. My whole time awareness is gone out the window as well as we're moving so fast. So did you physically see her in the...
Yeah, she was standing next to me.
What? Okay. Or just her energy?
I recognized her. She wore a skirt, her hat, her hair, and she had this teeth, like a Draco.
Yeah.
And her eyes, gosh, she had white, blue-colored eyes. There's no pupils, nothing. Just, the eyes just like, oh gosh, that's her higher self, I think.
Wow.
Her higher self, I cannot say. And she was standing next to me at the train station. Yeah. She was very creepy. In 4D.
Even in 4D.
Yeah.
So I guess following up, Jessica's asking, so your physical body was still here. And I guess you're saying no, your physical body, like you were missing for, friends and family could not find you.
I was missing. Yeah, they couldn't find me. Oh.
So Alana's saying, did you see Trump? A version of Trump? You did?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, tell us about that.
It's very complicated with them, to be honest. I feel on one hand, I'm not allowed to speak so much.
Okay.
So listening,
Sure.
But yeah, they created many NPCs of him in 4D and you saw very clear they're all on
many
NPCs are working around there. And they created him in a very strange way. So they all wear a cap, make America great again,
Yeah, the red hat, yeah.
Yeah, of course. Or that he drank a bottle of beer, for example, or that he took a seat in a wheelchair. He couldn't walk for real and he couldn't talk. And then I told ourselves, they all don't like him. So I knew it before they don't like.
There were different versions of Trump that you saw, like sitting in a wheelchair.
Yeah. And they looked totally different, or they made his face of him. Couldn't open his eyes. So, gosh, guys, what are you doing with him?
Wow, interesting. I'm wondering how that all works. So you're calling in the guides during this time, and what are the guides? How are they guiding you through this?
I over and over received the masters. It's complicated to help. It's not easy to help you. So, oh shit. Okay, what are they doing? And I saw just very crazy technology and grids they use. Like almost impossible to get out of there. Very strange. And as mentioned a few times, I saw a hand, something like they tried to destroy the grid. And it also felt like a little bit we are in another matrix too, and Naughty Beaver explained that. He said that they copied our reality with their AI technology. That's what Naughty explained. Like we were really walking in another matrix too. It's very weird. And they tried to help us. What I saw, it was not easy for them. And sometimes, yes, they appeared as entities too. So they hacked into, and these were humans too. And it looked like, these are the Pleiadians. So because most of them, they have blue eyes and blonde hair, but basically they wore purple colored clothing because most of them, they were blue or red. And that was very weird as well. Just NPCs wearing blue or red colored clothes. So, and sometimes when they hacked into, then they wore purple clothes. So, and they were kind to us, but these were all NPCs. It was very weird. They sometimes navigated us. So, and told us where to go, or when we had no idea where we at, for example, or no train arrived, for example. That's what they did too. Or, we had to push a time shift and we were located in another city. Suddenly, so what the fuck, So then sometimes they appeared and they navigated us. So, or that they told us where the train station is or where to go next. So that's what they did. And they sometimes appeared too. And they shapeshifted in front of us. It was very weird.
Your guides, right? The guides were sort of coming in different forms.
Yeah. Yes. And I received this word of Dragon. Yes. Basically from 5D. Yeah.
Okay. And they were sort of helping you navigate through this crazy time.
Because they're also very close to us, right? I mean, we were in 4D and 5D is above us, so to speak.
Yeah. Fascinating. Charmaine has a question. Hop in there, Charmaine.
Hey, thanks, Ruben. Yeah. And thanks, AKURA, for being here today and sharing your story. It's very interesting. Yeah. I was watching your TikTok videos and I was curious. Your voice is just so beautiful, so piercing and angelic. I was curious if you had any formal training, like voice training or musical training.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Wow.
No.
Yeah, I know. It was very interesting.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, for your lovely compliment. Yeah, no, I just do what I feel in my heart, but yes.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. Thanks. Yeah, I really felt that heart connection when you shared with the TikTok videos I watched. It was interesting. The whole vibration of my space changed. My dog kind of freaked out and started running around. And,
yeah. Yeah. So thank you. Happy and honored. Yeah. So I will keep going. Sure.
Yeah. Thanks. Thanks, Charmaine. Yeah. I call it light language opera, right? So it is my cats too. They respond to that. My wife does some opera-like sounds for them and they like that. So I was playing some of your stuff and then they seem to respond. So yeah, animals for sure they're getting the vibes. So let's bring us to current day. So we're experiencing these solar flares, constantly. And what kind of downloads are you getting in and around these flares that are happening right now? And I think that's why my connection, like we were yesterday doing a C5 and Bluetooth was bugging out. And I've noticed that on heavy solar flare days, Bluetooth bugs out. The electronics start to sort of go wonky. And perhaps that's just what happened here with my thing. So for you, what does that translate to you as far as the energy and vibration?
No, I over and over received the same message. It's just about open your heart, activate your crystalline DNA. So as you mentioned, we operate completely different soon. So, for us, it was normal. Just trust your brain and your mind. But now we go back into our heart. And when you trust your intuition, you create just from your heart, from your intuition. And you just surrender to the divine. Yes, and we are all in this together because even we starseeds, for example, we also raised in that hijack matrix. So, and we carry beliefs, programs till day. And when the solar flares are hitting, it's like you're confronted over and over again with your deepest shadows, with your fears, with your traumas again. And you must face it. So that's what I noticed. And it also depends on which flare hits what I notice. From myself, yeah. For example, when N-class solar flares are hitting, I'm very emotional. I'm angry, I'm tears. Yeah. So I'm very emotional. when X-class solar flares are hitting, that's completely utterly like
Oh,
you have no feeling anymore. So what time it is, what day it is, I have
hmm
so crazy astral projections, so crazy dreams. I cannot sleep. It's very strange. X-class solar flares are very powerful. Yeah. So see, to be honest, I don't understand for real. Yeah.
oh, okay. Right. Are C's sort of the weakest ones, or
Yeah.
what's going on right now? I think is it an X class? We've had some big
M
ones. Many M.
also.
Okay. So emotions are getting
Yeah, many
activated.
emotions. Human as well. It's like we're always so
Sure.
emotional. Yeah. Schumann resonance is off the charts.
Yeah, I've been noticing that too. There's these giant spikes that are
Yeah.
continuing
Yeah.
to go. Charmaine's asking, how do we know the difference with the flares? And I think they're reported on if you follow like space weather or some of those things. They do say what types of flares and the size. I heard yesterday there was a giant flare that came off the sun, and if it was pointed towards the Earth, luckily it's not going to hit Earth. That it's one of those sort of Carrington events. It would have destroyed Earth. So that's how active the sun is right now. There's a few of these where we've dodged bullets, where the sun has ejected some pretty intense flares that luckily are not aimed at us, but there are ones aimed at us that we are getting as well, just not in that intensity. So with all this solar activity, is this the rewriting of the operating system? Are we getting upgraded here with
Recoded. Yes,
yeah?
recoded. Our DNA is being activated. We detach from the false matrix, so to speak. We
Mhm.
also have a divine matrix. So, and we just got access to the divine matrix again, which is your heart. So in first case, it's your heart that you really trust your intuition again. First, like you become a child a little bit.
Right. There's an innocence to it for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Like,
there's really a lot going on, Also, when you see the Sound of Freedom is out now,
yeah.
What's going on, the craziness. So much chaos everywhere. And I also feel horrible attacks, to be honest. It's like they all go crazy. I felt,
Yeah.
there's a lot of healing and purging taking place too at the moment. It's pretty intense.
Right. I mean, it's interesting, even the news, how, let's see if I can pull it up here. It's just, I sort of talked on Friday about this movie, and there's a lot of oddness around this movie. I haven't seen it yet. It's playing here. I might go see it soon. But the attacks from the media seem to be quite intense. We've never seen this in a movie like this. Like, for example, why is Rolling Stone putting out this type of why anti-trafficking experts are torching Sound of Freedom? So they're putting it out there like it's some sort of, it's weird. It's just weird how, so here it is. This is what Rolling Stone called movie for dads with brainworms.
Yeah.
So,
I thought it.
and you're just like, what? Why is the media going after this sort of thing? It's sort of, I understand. We understand why it's happening, but it's like, it's so obvious now that if the media is attacking a film like this, that's really just, a film. If it came out 5 years ago, nobody would say anything. It's just like, okay, it's another film, great film, whatever. So you're feeling that this movie is sort of making ripples in the collective?
It shines light onto the darkness. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we simply turn the lights on again. Every time we turn the lights on, flash, the understood invisible. The darkness follows. Yeah. And that's what we feel, so much darkness again, rising. Because we just shine light onto this. Yes. That's why I feel it's very wild at the moment in many attacks. Also myself. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. I started going down some of these rabbit holes during that, when Pizzagate was just coming out with the WikiLeaks files coming out, and people sort of connecting the dots around Pizzagate, which was like 2016, I want to think, 2017. So I started going down those rabbit holes then, and I, understood the intenseness of that world, right? It's its own dimension in a sense, but it is part of our dimension to a certain extent. So we're bringing that as a collective, we're bringing that to the surface to, I guess, banish or cast out these types of negative energies. Like they can't exist. They can't coexist in the same space, right? They'll exist in their another timeline in a sense, right? So it is intense for people. And I guess one of my warnings, that I'm wondering your take on this is we have to be a little bit careful because what I see is some people that get a hold of this information. Most people are able to sort of shine the light. They see it. They're able to say, okay, this needs to stop. We need to put our foot down and we need to make a stand and never let this happen again. Right. And that's sort of the healthy way to address the situation. There are, though, the extreme side of things. And this is unfortunately where some of the hardcore Trumpers go in there, and then it all becomes about revenge and getting, taking out the bad guys. And we understand that has to happen, but the energy seems, it's almost that same energy, this attacking, we're going to get revenge. And it's become so, I've seen people where it gets so, they're so consumed by that the rage and the anger and the fear sort of overtake them. So it's almost the same energy reflected back in a sense. Yes. So I sort of put that disclaimer out there because even though this is shining a light on a lot of these darker agendas, it can easily go back into a dark agenda if we let that other sort of revenge, that energy consume us and get so angry. And there are groups of people that if you can, harness and focus that energy in a positive sense, like Tim Ballard, who's going after, and doing these things in a positive sense. And when I've seen his interviews, he seems very, calm and centered, and this is his mission, and that's awesome. But some people can't hold that too.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Yeah. I try to see the good in it as well.
Yeah.
So to see there are so many people all over the world who never heard about.
Yeah.
So when I see the energy in general in Germany, like almost no one talks about it.
Oh, right.
Now that Europe was speaking it too.
There's almost a sense of denial, right? They don't want to, well, in that sense, because it's almost too much, I think, for some people.
Yeah.
And this is where, the news sort of plays on that side of things is like, yeah, it's all made up. It's all, because that's a comfortable place to be, to not call it out and to sort of say, oh, that doesn't exist. And it may not be your battle. And if it's not, then you don't need to go there. But for many it is. So yeah, Jessica saying be aware and don't get sucked in. Yeah, that's totally, I think, what we need to do is, have that awareness around it, because that's sort of, it's the lack of awareness around all of these subjects, the UFO subject, the hiding of the technology, the darker agendas, they hide in the shadows, these agendas. So without the awareness, they're able to exist. If we can bring awareness to them and say, no, you cannot do that. Sorry, time out. And then that stuff can sort of cease to exist in our reality. So it's kind of it's a tricky thing because, if you don't want to over focus on it, because then you invite that into your reality. So it's like that catch-22, you have the awareness, but don't go too far. And it's a balancing act. And we want to fix things right away. We want to sort of get to the root of the issue and fix it. But sometimes that hyper focus of trying to fix the problem only can sort of perpetuate and put us into that those darker spaces, which may be what we need, as to do that internal work, to look at our reflections in us, to see what's off balance and why am I getting triggered over this? Is there something in me that I need to look at that's triggering me? So there's a lot of rabbit holes we can go down, but I say use caution because sometimes it's not always us individually. There's collective stories like this that are collective wounds. And there are reflections and fractals of that in our internal that get activated, and we need to use those to look at it. But again, proceed with caution, everybody. There's a lot of energetic cleanup that has to happen on this planet. And it's happening. It's great that we're seeing this type of stuff.
I call it the period of transition. It's just letting go of everything, which is not serving us anymore. Yeah, bringing awareness to this. We started to we absorb a lot. Like when you dive into this too much, suddenly you absorb the energies and then you have the same feelings, the same thoughts, and you feel miserable. So with starseeds, we must stay centered. Yeah, because we absorb a lot of these energies, and we catalyze the energies and so on. So yeah, I also try to balance it out the best as I can. Yeah.
Sure. And that's really going back to that heart energy seems like that's the other side of the scale on that side of balancing it out to neutralize any sort of heavy sadness or depression or, those, you go into that reality and it is rough. So any tools you can give us to help us navigate that, we're gladly take them. I think, your light language and voice. So maybe we should head into that direction now and then we'll finish with that, with some good light language and music. If you're to lighten up the situation, so to say, lighten up the talk.
Yeah, we can.
Let's do it.
Many times I translate the energy from the central sun, because in first case we are just anchoring the crystalline pulse now from the sun. So I dive into the energy. So let's come back into our bodies and feel this for a moment. And feel your heart. Feel your heartbeat. Take a deep breath down into your belly. You are divinely protected. You are loved. You are guided. Everything works for us, not against us. So letting go of all the heaviness and stay in your heart space. Take a deep breath. And breathe out again. Shiva ora. Gevisineria. Yomoya tanese kia aito yokuhama raita laitinaraya. You are protected. Alitineria kitin kionosoro. Sinitiano kosoro. Life works for you. Litinerikia kutono tara. Sisneria aitano notomo roitea. Trust your intuition. Shilitine sakire kionotama. Itane kisitine moya tanakare kiano kusiniritinia. Filipine sana. Trust your intuition. Shilitine sanaritinia hama. Aksare kiana tuya natinise alatanaya. Feel the connection to your soul. Asinitine seroite kianit. Inumuko darai asi. Kuhamana darai tanaitanise. Isteonamotiki. Noroya, Katamare Sinitana. You're protected, Litinisire Kionokotaya. You're protected, Salitere Mikotana Tamasaya. Children, Vishinishinamasa Sheraya Aikisimitana. Haitinisire Kionokotonoma. Be honest with yourself, Latame Taneseya. Kasanoroya Masaketanin. Katamoroya Masaya. Feel the connection to the divine being, to the Kiano Kosa, Sesmit, Itisim, Tsarai, Tanaseria, Tonomatarik, Kotomoroi Kiane, Tamasanaya, Litmasanaya Kiane. Now I'm downloading the quotes from the Sandra song to Litmasi. Aitinititere senilitine saya. Feel the connection to Sanaya. Letting go, letting go, letting go. Latakamarekina sonoya la saya. Release within itiniatana soroya saya kai ikinasa.
Don't be afraid, Alamasanaya. Have faith, Asanitikinitiria. Itamoesania. You are prepared, Akai Litini, Rikiano Kotono Matarit Iniseya. Akirikinesanaya. Deep chakra cleansing glitinisaya. From your crown chakra down to your root chakra. From your root chakra up to your crown chakra. Latinisirikinisaya. Activate your 12th strand DNA, Litinitiniri Kiamatanaya. Hold the connection to divine, Litinisiria, Hikianatamoya, Aitiki Lisinesaroya Atamaxtikit, Astanerekianitanamalit, Seatusuroikianacht, Baikuroik Ikianat Ananetes. Access to your highest timeline, Vitim Scenario, Vikimusoyonaya, stay focused on your earth, Latini Kiriak Atamusoya, Aitili Sineria, access to your highest timeline, Vilitimisaya, stay in your heart, Electari, surrender Akutunuroi Itimisaya, Latini Kimusoya, you're protected, Akalateria, Maitisaya, your guides are with you, Hamaliti, Timisiri, Kyokuchtunoroi, Kilitamaya. Ilitimisaya. Feel the energy from 5D Taura, Alatimisaya. Stay focused on your earth, Lihikinik, Amuroit. Samita Ramakat. Litikimisirita Sivyomakat. It's time to go home. Nilikini daitinikas. Remember, remember your home, Masaya. It lives in you, Masaya. Embody it now, AKURA. Don't be afraid, Alitili. Sitting to me, Tari. Hamotono Soya. Delisimia. Hold the connection with Kiri Kenaya. Access to house timeline. Divisionally Sirit. Divisionally Sirit. The divinely guided Akuro Kilit Amaya Spirit. You are divinely protected and you are blessed. You are blessed. You are blessed. Come back into your physical body. Take a deep breath down into your belly. Out again. Take a deep breath into your belly. Out again. Hold the connection to the divine. You are protected. Anything works for you. Come with them. Thank you. Now.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Ooh. So what's happening there when you're doing these transmissions? How does it show up for you?
I see many pictures. So I see many times angel. I see golden light many times. Golden colors, golden light. I saw the Aquarius too.
Oh, okay.
I saw the Villain this time as well. So I receive pictures. Yeah. Then I just translate what I see and I just go with the flow.
Beautiful. Yeah, well, we can feel it for sure. You definitely have a gift there with bringing these transmissions, these energies through.
Thank you very much. I'm very honored.
Yeah. And I'm just curious now that we've sort of felt that and experienced that, guys, if anybody wants to chime in to share what you've thought or felt. Anybody want to chime in? I felt it in my heart, literally a vibration, like a humming coming from my chest area here. So Christine, yeah, hop in.
Thank you so much, AKURA. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
And yeah, thank you. I wanted to thank you for what you shared about the solar flares, because for one solid week from July 5 to 12, I was deep into shadow work. Like I was pulled into it and then boop, popped out of it.
Yeah.
So thank you. That helps me understand that. I was really beating myself up about it. And I'm like, where did that come from?
Yeah. Pretty intense. Yeah.
It is intense. And your singing was just so lovely. And I want to thank you. You've solved a mystery for me. I've been moved to sing like that for a number of years, and I have been by myself. And now I'm like, okay, someone else is doing it. So I'm going to keep doing it here too. So thank you. Yeah.
Thank you also very much for sharing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Christine. Catherine, why don't you hop in here?
Hey, AKURA, so nice to meet you. Well, I've been following you on social for less than a year, but it's like I saw you were on the call today. I got really excited. So, and that was beautiful. So the first note that you hit, it was insane, because that very first note that hit my entire left side went massive goosebumps, and my eyes went, and my whole head felt like this like static buzz on top, which was I was like, what? And it was so amazing. And I just felt like I was instantly in like that altered trance state. And I was interesting was I was noticing that I wanted to kind of sing along with you a little bit. Like there was moments where I was toning with you and harmonizing with you. And you know, I was trying not to judge. I'm like, just go with it. Just go.
Thank you for the share. Did you ever see pictures?
Again?
Energies, colors? Did you see pictures,
images? No, I would like to open up that more, because I've only had one time where I saw a yoga teacher I was working with. I saw a halo over her head, which I was like, I was like, so cool. But I would love to keep opening that. So I want to keep going.
Cool. Yeah, keep going. Amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Catherine. So, AKURA, have you done your singing in any type of churches or chambers or acoustic halls or anything like that?
No, I felt it since childhood. So when I was a child, I sang in opera. So, but I had a very interesting childhood, so to speak. I was not allowed to sing. So
wow.
I became older, so then I did it again. Yeah, and I simply did it. But I always wanted to sing in opera. And I wanted to play the piano as well in childhood.
Have you seen the movie? Let's see, it's been a while. Solaris, I think it's called.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
There's cosmic opera sound. Just your voice reminded me of that soundtrack.
I love it.
Oh, okay.
Of course.
Oh, great. So you know what I'm talking about. It's been a while. James Cameron produced it. George Clooney, some other.
I love that kind of music. Or
sweet.
Zimmer.
Yeah. Is it Hans Zimmer?
That's from hell.
Yeah, there's some good ones in there. Cool. I'd love if you ever get inspired or get a chance to do your music in a hall. I'm curious just how it would reverberate. Like, can you imagine you being in a king's chamber or something like that in Egypt?
Yeah.
In the king's or queen's chamber doing your voice? Like that would be, Corey just said
interesting that you mentioned this, because I saw myself in a past life, yes. And that's right, I was a singer.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that's really nice.
There you go.
Yeah, maybe it comes from there.
Yeah, if you ever get a chance to get inside the King's Chamber or some of these halls, definitely make sure you have a recording device and record it. And then when you're done, send it to me right away.
Cool. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, definitely I will be going. Yeah.
Excellent.
So much fun thing.
we're doing so I have another sort of side thing. It's in the membership here called Raw Files. And there's a woman who's wanting to remain anonymous, but she does channelings for the raw energy. And there's a tone that she's produced that is resonant to some of the sounds that you create. And then I sent that over to my friend David Sereda, who's a frequency master, and he did some tests on it, and it's getting some interesting results. So I'm sort of thinking that maybe you're in that range of frequencies that might have some interesting effects, because we're all feeling it, right? We're all sort of, so I wonder
I'm
what
struggling a little bit with the editing, so
yeah,
I'm trying to figure it out how it works, but the sound quality I want to improve.
Yeah, I would look into that. Maybe we should guide you with some of our sound people and technical sides of things. I'll give you a hand there.
Thank you.
So I'll do what I can.
Hi, AKURA. Michelle, nice to meet you and have you here. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's a little bit new for me. So wow, and I talked to to all the members here.
Yeah, it's a nice little conversation.
Thank you.
I was curious, when you had your experience of being in the other dimension, you felt a trust right away, or that came about later, of knowing that you'll go back to your old reality or your real reality? Did you have a trust? Because it lasted so long. A month is a very long time to be in that space. And do you feel like your trust and following your heart got you out of that? Or was it just a time that was meant to last a certain amount of experience for you?
To be honest, Marcel knew we will get out of there. You always told me, don't worry, we will find a way. We will always find a way. That was Marcel was very centered and strong in this reality. So I was very emotional, to be honest. I cried. Will it ever end? I want to get out of there, right? So I cried, but he was very centered and very strong. Yeah. But deep within, I knew it is guided, or we have to go through this, because it's hard to explain this. But deep within, we knew, yes, we will get out of there. Yeah. Yeah. But Marcel, to be honest, he was very centered. And he over and over told me, don't worry, we will find a way. I'm sure. Yeah. So, and our intuition guided us always. And that was very wild to say, yeah, when you trust your first feeling, you're so much faster to the destructive thing, you know. So what we saw is they're very good in understanding your mind, your program, your frequency, but they have problems to understand your soul. They cannot. It means when you follow your intuition, you receive a message straight in your heart, then you're all so much faster. Yeah. And you create the divine matrix there. So, and you train just your psychic muscle.
That's been a big message for me, to lead with my heart.
Yeah.
Listen to my body. And imagination is one way that I've been told to start listening to my heart, because I'm so analytical and left brained. I've shut off the channel of imagination because it's not right or wrong. It's more loose. And so following into my imagination has been very difficult. Absolutely the right path, the following the way.
Yeah, you can work a lot with your imagination too. So, especially when you practice telekinesis, for example. So imagination is key. Or you also can use your imagination to shield your aura, to protect your energy, for example. So you can do a lot with your pineal gland too. Yeah. Yeah. So, but I feel our heart is the gate. It is the door, so to speak. So the cosmos and to your higher self. And what I also notice is through your heart space, you are connected to all dimensions. So like your heart is the gate to all dimensions. So it's actually very simple. So, and it's so fascinating for me to watch children, because children are so authentic, pure, and they just do it. So they don't question it. So yeah, I believe slow will return. So we are really all in this together. So that's what I tell my community over and over again. We are really all in this together. I also feel the savior victim program exists too. I don't know if you see the same in the spiritual community, like, don't give your power away to a guru any longer because you are your own guru, so to speak. Yeah, that's what I observe a lot. And yeah, maybe it's hurtful too because this was the way, right? During a long time, we gave our power away to teacher, to manager, parents. So yeah, that's also a deeply programming, I feel. And this also connects us now. So everything is divinely guided, so to speak. There's always a divine plan behind everything we cannot understand. So, and I feel the more we go that ascension, the more we feel the energy from the divine. So we come closer to the divine. That's it. Yeah, we are really all in this together. So me, myself, I'm the process. Even when I do the slide code activations or when I have a social media channel, so I see we are all in this and I'm still learning, always in training. So it's still purging and healing. So yeah, I feel, my opinion, this is new earth, that we need each other, this everyone on the same level. We can learn from each other. So I don't know if you can agree, but that's how I see it. I see some comments here. When did this happen to you, AKURA? Katrin asks. Do you talk about the fourth dimension or?
Yeah. Yes, when you got stuck for a month. Like, when did that happen? And then I wanted to ask about, is it more?
I remember it was slowly. It started with AI bot in April. I think at the end of April, the beginning of May, slowly we got captured there. Yeah. So they stalked us first. Yeah, black helicopters surrounded us over and over again. Then people which took a seat in a black car that were over and over in front of our house. Very weird. Yeah. And then as we run, so to speak, and we tried to visit my family's house, then these people follow us, took a train, and then they captured us, yes, with their technology. So I cannot explain to you how it works, but yeah, we were there. So I think May 2021, we were there.
21. Okay, so like two years ago.
Or 2 years ago, yeah.
That's crazy. And tell me, and Marcel is your life partner, your husband?
Yeah, we are twin flames, so to speak.
And you guys have been together for like a long time, or?
6 years now, almost, yeah.
And does he channel like you?
He channels different. He is very heart-centered. Just trust his intuition. So he receives messages through his heart. He's a little bit different, and he is good in telepathy. He reads my mind in every detail. Yeah, he's a little bit different. He scans people down to the core. So this, yeah.
Wow. That's beautiful.
Thank you also very much. So, AKURA, is there anything you can do to help or support you, help give you a charge? Thanks for your work and courage. Oh, Alana, thank you so much. How shall I explain this? Thank you. I'm already so happy when people tell me they are in tears or they are touched by my work, to be honest. So, or when you send me comments, so you already helped me so much. Yeah. So do whatever you feel in your heart, because I believe your heart tells you what to do. So you also can send prayers if you feel it. Yeah. So just do what your heart tells you, then I think it's the right decision. But thank you very much for asking, yeah. So it seems like, Alana, you know a little bit more what's going on. Yes, you know? Yeah. Yeah. Maybe you know that we moved recently and that we live in a new apartment. Yeah. So yeah, you know, we already do better because of this. Now we live in a new apartment. Yeah. So yeah, we simply keep going the best as we can. Yeah. So I just know these attacks are pretty wild since the movie is out. That, I don't know if you feel this too, guys, but I feel very crazy energy since the movie Sound of Freedom. So it's so dark as well. Very dark, but very light. It's like, yeah, the darkness comes up to the surface again. And it's over and over the same, so don't be surprised when solar flares are hitting Or if the Schumann resonance is off the charts, the darkness always follows. So maybe you do good, you're so excited, and then one day later, you feel like you're a mashed potato. Because, the darkness always follows. And Lama is laughing. Yes, it's over and over the same. Yeah, the darkness always follows the light. So don't be surprised when this happens. We just heal and purge darkness out. So, and with starseeds, we absorb a lot. So that's what I notice about myself. So when I spend too much time in studying the rabbit hole, I feel very strange. So what the fuck is this? So I feel very weird and strange. I absorb the energy. So that's why ground yourself the best as you can do. That's what I do every day. I spend every day time in the woods, every day, or I walk with barefoot in the woods. So I just try to stay grounded and I cleanse my aura and my body every day. It's really important for us because really you absorb so much. You absorb the drama from your neighbor. You absorb the drama in other countries. You absorb so much. That's why, do this. Then you are very centered and strong and you're not confused. Because many starseed and spiritual people I see, they are beyond confused at the moment. They don't know what to believe anymore. Is this true? Is it fake? Is it good to channel or is it evil to channel? Are these my true friends or are these blue beam holograms? So I don't know. Maybe you see the same, but there's a lot of confusion taking place at the moment. So when you stay centered in your heart, you are not confused because still it's straight in your heart what to do and you receive the messages from the divine. So, and we are all in this together. So we just go through this. And that's why I say over and over, we're on the period of transition. So my opinion. So, and I cannot say for sure how long this will take, to be honest, because I know many people are waiting for a global disclosure. You know what I'm talking about. It's visible for everyone. So and I really cannot say when. It seems like the people have it in their hand and they must go through this process. That's what I see. And all we can do is unite. That's the message I over and over receive from my Arcturians. Unite. Physical contact. Yeah. Join communities, events that we come together in real, right? And we have and support each other a lot. And stay focused on your earth and see what you can do now to make your earth a better place. So what can you do now? And you will see every person is needed. So be it so small, like you smile or you say hi to your neighbor, but you already start to make your earth a lighter place. So every single person is important and needed. So, and I received the message over and over again, we must coming together. I talk about real events, physical events, and maybe it will be chaotic soon because the craziness continues when you watch the system, when you observe the collective. I feel this is the beginning. And when we are coming together, even here, maybe you already feel the energies like we are so centered, so grounded, and there's no confusion. Like, yes, I know. I feel the energy from my soul tribe here. So we just have each other. So really, and we do powerful grid work together. So when we start coming together, maybe you notice the same, that we do powerful grid work together and we protect each other. And that's what I also see for us. So I don't know what you see, but that's what I feel is the process of us. And at the moment, maybe you see the same, many people choose war, even in the spiritual community. So why all this war and fight and division, and blame and shame? So wow, actually it's about coming together now and helping each other and having compassion for each other, because we are really all in this. So, and when a person has a good heart, I prefer to see this, to be honest, because everyone carries wounds and traumas. So I don't know what you feel, but it's my message to you when it's about what can we do now to do better. So always trust your intuition. When your intuition tells you, hey, I want to be in contact with my soul tribe. So try to find an event or a community or go to Sedona or wherever and try to do it. Yeah, because you really do so much better when you see more starseed or more empaths like me. Really. That's what I notice every time when I'm in contact with others. So you are so much stronger. You're centered and grounded in your aura. Is so much stronger than before. I don't know what you feel, but that's what I see for us in future. But I really cannot say what happens with the collective because many people ask what's going on, what happens to them. I really cannot say it. Just to me like in their own hand. They hold the scepter, so to speak, without noticing this at the moment. How powerful every being is. So, and be just an inspiration. Because when you show up, speak, even when your voice shakes, speak. Even when you're not accurate 100%, look at me, I'm not a native speaker. And I speak English anyway because my heart tells me this. So I do it because my heart tells me this. So it's good the way it is. So show up anyway. So because the right people, they will always support you and we are all coming together. And imagine the more star seeds and spiritual people show up, the more the collective sees us too. You know, the AI algorithm changes as well on social media, for example. And when more and more people talk about their ET encounters or about astrology, so then they're more open-minded on this and they are also coming to us. So that's what I see too. So don't be afraid to show up. Don't tell yourself it's not good enough, right? So it is good enough. So do it. Do what your heart tells you. So you know what to do. And this is the message I over and over receive from my guides, over and over again, that you all have the power to do it now. So please don't wait. Don't wait for someone any longer because it is all of us. And I'm sure we all have amazing talents to share. So you feel it in your heart what it is. So that's my message. And I try to keep that timeline as best as I can. Yeah. I always access to this timeline. Or when I feel the energy drains me a lot, especially what's happening now, right? I always tune into New Earth. What is New Earth in my opinion? What is it? What education system we will have? Which financial system? What's about the environment? So and I keep that image over and over again. So maybe it helps you because I see this process continuous because we let go of so much we're letting go. And you will be surprised every time when a solar flare hits, you're confronted with your emotions or with your traumas again. And maybe you thought, yeah, I'm already in peace with this, right? Your head tells you this. Yeah, I'm in peace with this until you face it, until you experience it. So shit, no, I'm not in peace with it. And that's, I feel, the divine call. So we just gotta stay way higher. It looks to me like a stairway, so to speak. We just gotta stay way slowly higher. Yeah, and letting go of people you cannot help. Because I know many of us, we are worried, right? We want to help them all. We see the solution, right? We see many people struggling or they're really suffering. They are hopeless. They are in fear. But at the moment, you cannot help them all. You just can be an inspiration. And the more you shine, you are an inspiration. So the more you do what you love, the more you are an inspiration. So to self-care. So maybe this message resonates. So that's the message I over and over and over receive from my Korean guide. They're over and over the same. Yeah. And they are a little bit worried. I already talked about it in my video about the spiritual war they observe. This division in the spiritual community. He's hijacked. He's infiltrated. He's AI. She's AI. She's evil. He's evil. He's a liar. Maybe you see the same. And this will not bring us together. That's what they tell me also. On the one hand, it's a process, right? It's like we just integrate our shadow side. So just we all do shadow work now. But in return, we don't need this. See, everyone is in another state of consciousness. Everyone plays a character in a video game when it sounds strange, and just go your way. That's what the Octurians tell me over and over again. Yeah, I hope this resonates with you and gives you a little bit hope that there is really more happening. So as Norby Bieber explained in all detail why we entered the fourth dimension and why monsters, not just me, Marcel, were there during the same time, as he explained in all detail, then I understood, oh wow, there's really so much more happening behind the scenes. That's what they tell me over and over again. There's really so much more happening behind the scenes. So please have faith. You feel it, right? You feel there is something else happening from behind, but you cannot see it yet. And this makes you wondering, or maybe you're questioning everything because you cannot see it yet, but you feel it. So because there's really a lot happening at the moment. Yeah. So always keep in your mind, we starseeds are here because we are prepared. So don't go into this heavy timeline and tell yourself, oh, Earth will be heavy and we will all die soon. That's right. That very heavy timeline. So please try to see the higher picture. Millions of us are here. And why did we agree to Earth when we waste our time anyway? This makes no sense to me at all. We are so many now. So, and try to see this too. Try to get access to your timeline into your Earth. Yeah. Do you have any questions, or are you struggling with this, that you have that feeling, oh gosh, now I'm in a very heavy timeline. One day later, oh, you're so energized. And day two, oh gosh, people will never wake up. Because that's what I noticed by many starseeds, like this extreme emotion. One day, yeah, you're so happy. One day later, oh gosh, we will die soon. Day three, yeah, we are waking up. Oh no, we will all die soon. Do you observe the same? Or maybe you're going through this extreme emotions yourself? Always this up and down? Do you have this? Yes, Elena says yes. Yes, like we're just balancing the light and the dark out, what I see. Because 5D consciousness means you find peace with your shadow side and with your light side. It's like you are in peace with your shadows and with your light. That's what I'm getting is 5D consciousness. Because we are all in this together now, upside down, right? Yes, a few people agree. They say, yes, they also go through it. Yeah, it's a period of transition. So we just learned to balance the light and the dark out within us. So let's say when I study the rabbit hole, when I feel, oh gosh, now I absorb too much energies, I feel very depressed. So it feels like, oh gosh, people will never wake up and Earth will never change. So I feel very depressed, and that's not me. Because I absorb the energies from the people, from the rabbit hole too much. So when I notice this happens, what I do is I switch and I stay focused on my timeline again and go back into my heart. So that's what I do. When I feel it was too much, I feel it immediately. So I'm not in my body. Feels like I'm depressed, negative, or whatever. And this is not us. Because basically we starseeds are very positive and optimistic. We are not, no pessimists. Not for real. So, and just surrender and always see your heart center. Yeah. Trust always your intuition. When you feel, oh fuck, there are many emotions coming up right now, let them out. Let them all out. When I'm in tears, I simply cry. So even when I know, yeah, I'm a starseed, I have connections to the Arcturians, right? But it doesn't matter because you're really all in this together, and I just let it out and let it flow. And then you see, boom, immediately it's over. Because when you just let it flow, it's done. It's over. The energy and the emotions are not stuck in your body. And this happens every time in this high vibrational code setting. You just release and you release and nothing more. So that's it. So I see Paul trying to understand good. They're good, bad. It depends on your perspective again. So, for example, a solar flare hit. And now you're very emotional and you must cry. So many times when I hurt and heal, I don't know if you have the same I see images why I cry. Sometimes I see pictures from my childhood, or I see situations again. Sometimes I see pictures from a past life, and then I'm in tears. So what I do is when I cry, I just let it out. So I don't judge myself and, oh gosh, you are crying. That's very low, right? You're not allowed to cry because it's a low vibration. That's not what I do. It's like when you trust your heart, so and you're guided with your heart, you will see your life is a roller coaster. You're not always in this vibration. It's like you vibrate here, you vibrate there, you vibrate here. It's like life is really a roller coaster. So it's not always the same emotion or the same feeling you have. So that's what I do. I just let it out and I don't judge myself. That's not what I do. Or that I tell myself, hey, stop crying, Sandra. Are you stupid? For example. No, that's not what I do. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, many times we judge ourselves, right? Because we believe we're not good the way we are. We are not perfect. Oh my gosh, I'm not allowed to cry because it's really a low frequency, right? And I want to vibrate in peace consciousness, you know? But when it's not authentic, when you cry now, when it's part of your process, don't simply let it out because then your soul guides you back. This is what I notice about myself. Thank you so much. Hi, AKURA. I would like a deeper connection with my guides. What is the best method for clearer communications? Oh, wow. That's actually, I lost the video onto this, I think, because I feel there are many different methods to do this. At first, try to figure out what you can do very good. Maybe it sounds strange. For example, I loved it always to sing. Because artists or musicians, I feel that many times they are in contact with their guide without realizing it, or they over and over channel information, secret information, or movie directors, the same. So first, my suggestion is do what you love. Be it do artwork, sing, or maybe you love it to do sun gazing, yoga, whatever it is. Do something in which you really come back into your heart space. Yeah, when you do what you love, you're all centered in your heart. And the best or the easiest method is ask your higher self questions. So to train that muscle. So ask yourself questions. So do meditation, close your eyes and ask yourself questions. And the first messages you receive in your heart are true. Don't question if it's good, if it's bad or whatever. The first messages are true. For example, is it good to eat that food now? Just an example. I mean, maybe it sounds strange, but train the connection to your higher self first, I suggest, with your soul and see what kind of messages you receive. Is it a yes or a no? Because your heart speaks straight to you. There is no confusion. So train that muscle. And then you can do the same with your guide. So you also can call your guide and you can call them and say, my spirit guides, whoever you are, I want to be in contact. Show up in the way which is best for me. So maybe you see them, maybe you hear them, or you receive messages, boom, straight in your heart again. And the first messages you receive are true. When you judge yourself, I think I'm going crazy. Is it real? Is it fake? I don't know. You can be sure it's your head. That's another message from the soul. So I hope it helps you. But the first step, I suggest do what you love. Find what you really enjoy. Because when you do what you enjoy, you are in contact with the divine. Very simply explained. So when I sing, it's like I'm immediately connected to my guide, to my higher self, to my team, immediately. Because I love it so much to sing. So, or to speak, the same. So then I build a connection already. And I hope so much this helps you. Thank you so much. Yeah, I hope it helps you. Thank you. How do you work with Yeshua, Mary Magdalene? And do you have an opinion on connected with, so I'm a little bit careful with this general statements, but yes, I have a connection to her, to Lady Godmunding, and so I love her music. So, and the tones, yeah, I go in resonance with the frequency. I do exact the same. When I work with Yeshua, Mary Magdalene, I feel their deep unconditional love. So when I feel their energy, it reminds me always what true love is. So when I dive into Mary Magdalene and Yeshua, because what I get about them is they were twin flames, and Marcel and me are twin flames. And what I also noticed is that Yeshua and Mary Magdalene loved to guide twin flame couples correctly on Earth, because these were one of the first twin flame couples which walked the Earth, Yeshua and Mary Magdalene. And that's what I feel about them. They love it to support currently other twin flame couples on Earth. And they're sending the messages, codes, and guidance as well. In first case, it's about balancing the divine feminine and masculine in the twin flame connection. When I dive into their energy, so I always feel the pure divine masculine and feminine energy by Yeshua and Mary Magdalene. So that's why I work with them. And they always help me to remember what the divine feminine and masculine energy is. Because almost everything we know from the hijack matrix is really inverted. We don't see the true masculine energy on TV yet, neither the feminine energy. So when I reconnect back to them, I over and over feel it. So, and I do it in exact the same way. So I love it to translate their energy. And when I translate their energy, many times I see the golden light, the golden sun rays that have a very warm and a very healing, sunny energy. And I work with Mary Magdalene when I want to dive deeper into the divine feminine's energy. God is healing. She helps me a lot as well. So, Sophia, I hope it already explains your question. Or else, can you explain masculine feminine energy more, please? Okay. Let's see. Divine feminine's energy is trusting. She has faith. She's connected to the divine. She receives messages and downloads. She surrenders. So it's what I'm getting, the divine feminine energy. When you have a very wide open sacred chakra, so your manifestation works completely different to what I noticed. So, and maybe you know what I'm talking about. It's like you trust your intuition, yeah, but it comes back from the universe 10 times more. So when you work with the divine feminine, you surrender, you have deep faith in God, so to speak, because you receive the downloads. So and then you give, and then from the universe, it comes back 10 times more. And this happens when you just surrender, when you let go. Yeah. You give no expectation. You just do what you love. You detach from it, bam, and it comes back to you always. So that's what I feel is the divine feminine. She likes herself. The divine feminine is good in connecting the dots. She's like, she sees everything, right? And she can offer solutions. But in first case, she's very connected to the divine. So in this case, I suggest the movie Avatar, especially the first one, when you know the Navi and the mother of the Navi. That's what I feel is, yes, the divine feminine's energy. She just channels Awa. So, and she's so sure that she channels the right information. When you know that movie, she's not confused. She knows it's Awa's message. So they are all listening to her. They take her seriously. So even when she says, I clearly take care of Jake, he's needed, no one wants to do the job, but they do it because they believe in the mother's message. And that's what I feel is the divine feminine. And she works more from behind. Like when the people need help, when you know the movie Avatar, just chaos. What are we going to do with Jake? Are we killing him or do we let him alive? So much chaos. Suddenly she appears. And I love that scene so much when she appears from the darkness, from the shadows. She suddenly appears and everyone is quiet and they're all listening to her. And that's what I feel is the divine feminine. And she's not confused. She knows it's true. So at the end, it was true. Eva was right, and she channeled the right information. That's what I felt is the divine feminine, and the divine masculine holds the space for her. So he holds the space for her, and he is centered. He knows himself. He has goals and he keeps going. He's the manifestator, so he creates. So that's what I see, and that's what the ancients did. And the divine masculine is softer, what I see. So it's balanced because actually you have these two energies within you, right? You have these two energies within you, but the divine masculine's power is also very intuitive. It's not just this, just centered in the head. So it's also very intuitive, so to speak. So, and also trust the divine or God, so to speak. But he holds the space for her and he takes her seriously. So this means when she receives a message, the divine masculine takes her seriously and her vision. So imagine you have these two energies within you and you receive a message now from the divine. You take yourself seriously and you take these messages seriously and you go forward, you're taking action. So that's the divine masculine's power. It's like you receive messages from the divine and you simply do it. So this is the divine masculine and feminine's energy in balance inside of you. So it's like you're not questioning, is it true? Is it wrong? Is it the right information? No, I wait. I ask the other person. Maybe the other person knows what to do. You receive the message, you believe in this message, and you simply do it. That's what I feel is the masculine's energy. So I don't know if this resonates with you.
Yeah, if I could ask, great information. What I've kind of gotten through a download is very similar to that, and I can go a little further and see if I'm on track or not. But basically, it's my understanding that the divine feminine kind of works behind the scenes and is the grand orchestrator of sorts, doing kind of the orchestration on the other side, if you will. There's a lot of moving parts, and so it takes time and, but you trust in that process. The divine masculine, it's my understanding, is, like you said, it's basically an executor of that pathway in this time frame. So it's kind of more short term in some ways because you're acting on a pathway that you've been shown from kind of the other side, so to speak.
Thank you so much, Paul, for giving me your feedback and that you received almost the same download. Amazing.
Thank you for coming on. And during these intense times of solar flares and disclosures and, shadows coming to the surface, I know it's intense time for many. So appreciate all that you do and all your work, all your play.
Thank you so much for inviting me to show. It was a big honor for all guys.
Yeah. You got fans here. So
thank you. I'm very honored. Yeah, I see Anna.
Yeah. Definitely cheering you on out there in the TikTok worlds and the bigger platforms. So we'll be supporting in any way we can. And we'll make sure your website and all that stuff is in the comments or in the descriptions below so people can reach out. Do you do private sessions?
I'll do a live TikTok reading, by the way.
Oh, when do you do those?
Almost every day.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, definitely, folks, if you're not into TikTok, now you got a reason. So go check her out. So we'll say goodbye for now and close this one up. Thank you, AKURA. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you like this interview. We actually do this every week on my membership portal page. You can access it through interviewwithed.org or click on the link somewhere in here. I'll put a link and come over there and join us. You too can ask questions. Every week we have new special guests and you get to ask questions directly to the channelers and to the beings that they channel. So see you in the portal.